Death comes to us in many forms, but timely intervention can prevent some of them. Malaria takes its toll each year on many, leading to death of one person in Ghana every 3 hours. In 2009, 3,000 people in Ghana died from malaria, and most of them were children.
We had a HB of 2.3. That is very severe. You need normally up to 11, and here we are at 2.3. So we've saved a life here. We've given blood. We started our malaria treatment, and this child will go home.
When you get malaria, especially for children under 5 years, if you don't act fast, that child will be lost within 48 hours. That is within 2 days. Malaria starts as simple. When we say simple, it's just the fever, we all know, headaches, and then the shiverings. But if you don't treat it, that will progress to what we call severe malaria.
Severe malaria can cause brain damage, leaving the patient with permanent learning disabilities, physical weakness, and emotional problems.
Sometimes the parasites actually go into the brain. And when they go into the brain, we call that cerebral malaria. But the background to saying that all this is severe malaria is that there must be parasites that we can say is the cause of this. And when you are unconscious because of cerebral malaria, there is no other cause for that. So when we have that, then we say you have cerebral malaria. Now we do other laboratory parameters like your blood parasiticemia, your white cell count, your renal function, everything, and we add all that to the criteria saying that a child has severe malaria.
For cerebral malaria cases, if we don't treat fast, the child will go into coma. If we are fortunate enough and that child does not die and recovers, about 9% of those who recover, they end up with what we call permanent deficits. Now, some of the permanent disabilities include even epilepsy. Some of them may not be able to concentrate well when they go to school.
According to research, severe malaria can lead to lifelong complications such as epilepsy, a permanent brain disorder that causes convulsions, memory loss, and loss of consciousness.
Because it's so dangerous, we have really put in place policies and strategies. We've trained all the health facilities, trainers, health workers on how to manage malaria. We have told them and taught them that if a child has severe malaria, for instance, we make sure that you push what you call rectal artesunate, and then we rush the child if you don't have a hospital facility. But if you have a hospital facility, they know and they've been told that the child must be sponged down, and quickly you give the malaria medicines for severe malaria. Indeed, the malaria medicines for severe malaria are so effective that if we act fast, we don't need to lose the child.
Ibrahim is a 15-year-old boy living with his parents in Nima. Although he was born a normal child, his life and that of his family changed as a result of severe malaria when he was about 4 years old in kindergarten.
Sunana Salamatu Muhammad, Diana ni Ibrahim. Yanzu ya zama mai ciwo, kuma ciwon ba na haife shi da shi bane. Ya girma fa yana zuwa school. Cikin school nan na aka kira ni wai bai da lafiya. Kafin te nan doctor sun te da shi teachers sun kai shi hospital. Kuma da naje shi jikin shi yayi zafi sosai. Sai an duba shi an treat shi for malaria te aka cire mu. Nan muka zo gida kuma jikin ya kuma yi zafi kuma muka koma. Bayan shi da muka zo gida muna bakin magani. Sai doctor sun duba sun ban na gane kaman ciwon ne aka yana cikin kai ne. Kuma first yana ciwon ke mishi yanzu da yayi sauki kadan. Da an ciwon ya tashi bai ci abinci ko ruwa ma na bashi bai shan. Ciwon kuma da yazo kin ga shi Ibrahim zauna kuru yayi shiru kamar ran shi ya bata. Don ciwon da yazo ya yi kuwa sosai, kuwan da yake kina nan gada waje kin ji muryan shi. To ciwon ya zo kenan. In ciwon ya zo cikin shi ya yi rawo ya kwanta shi ya yi kai kamar 3 hours ma bai farfado ba. Kuma rana da yan ciwon ne fara yana yazo so 5 so 6. Yasa shi ma yana son school. Kullu yana batun school. Ya tashi yana dokan buku da pen ya zana te amma ya zana ba correct bane. Batun school ke hankalin shi.
Ibrahim na so ya je school, wata rana ya sha magani yana ya zaune ce Allah wata rana yana ya zauna ya ce Allah ya bashi lafiya saboda yana so ya je school. Ibrahim dai gaske yana da ban tausayi saboda yaro mai jin kunya so guda saboda ciwo yaro ya zama wani abu. Although muna yi kan shi amma in ciwo ya tashi mu duka muna tausayin Ibrahim.
Mariana! Mariana! Baga Mariana! Tashin mana bari. Missy! Maria! Hey! Daddy! Hey! Hey!
In Jamestown, a well-known fishing community in Accra, is a moving story. A beautiful girl by name Roberta has been permanently confined to the wheelchair for the most part of her 17 years in this life. Roberta was diagnosed with epilepsy as a result of severe malaria before she could even say her first words.
I told me Florence Jambia Dude ne Roberta nalam ne lampi mbini mbiko me nalam ne yefo she boy ya hiele baka bana 6 months 3 weeks na ke he do wa when my sister ko me e tune ne kala ke sanda a me he do ne ka o ke he do kenu afofre ono ta paracetamol syrup ko hane no ene kan ni wo ni ke hwe eno to me fofre eno pa no ne hellish to man po ne hellish once no e shit kai e film bi dem so da clear men clear kan clear hospital fe beninye ke ba ne ni bekan shi woni clear e nke de kan doctor ni e chon mi word ni ya ni kan doctor ni word o amechi na that month ni e fail following month e fail third month ni ku se fail e kun beni ena 2 years ena keshin enye tashi enye fe nuku
The disabled state of Roberta, caused by severe malaria, leaves her mother no option than to cope with all the hardship. From Jamestown to Bubuyashi, where Hagar lives with her daughter Theodora, a 10-year-old girl who also suffers as a result of severe malaria.
Hagar Anna, me bransi di Theodora lati na me to ado wo school no na me ba ne ba so oyale to ba no in fact na no hwa yeshi ti ni ho shi no mu no na me ntumi me ba na me ne betu de mu na me first sister ba ko ho na me so me hwe de sa me ba no yeshi no se me nsenso mra to nsenso ba na de begu no ho ye bubo no so na de garlic e be ya akora no ho ti oha na o se obeba abonte ti me ne betu abonte na me hu se na no achia no o se o sin so yesi no so to na me kukuru no ko Dr. J ho ti me ne du ho no Dr. J bisa me se e de na ya akora no so me nim no fi school ba no na no ho a share off ti no on to me ti so na ti a on anti se no yesi no ho no otomu o kasa kwa onti obekoto leta ti so akogun no o ju so no aju segun no for so na me mani duane obo ha me da me to akaka na ma friend so na mama ne ti so na me da shana no obisa na sama ontumi ya no onye hwe de be oda no ha na oda ko tama ni ye be fi ke ye be fi na chiro na ko fodia na bo from se me ba no ya na bebi na no hwa ye hye na me se yali e da yali nko a etumi ha akora ne sa no ha no ati ahwe ku yali no aye dindin sisi ode na mo no da do ko school na ni sana na e ha no sisi ano ucha na de kura ohu.
Up north in the Tolong Kumbungu district, We hit the town of Kumbungu to have a chat with Aishatu and her daughter Memunatu, who also suffers as a result of severe malaria.
To dum pilgo sha bunkul jo obilian de kirata kar pilgo nang bana do to dun dugro nang bana katiyal ni pa shambala kama tibro pa ma tamma tibro de batara de telya wala du'a sang darko katlo du'a ma tibro du'a ma ndutun duya da gban kpambe sane nin kura sane nsuhtima de batai to tanti yamba de zaman lewo pilin pihu nluhuro pilin pihu katikian suhuratim njiyogol tin sakam suhtim mage de bunyetim de ma de bupangda de nara den da nan do ya yelmang lo ki soral marto ora yillu na ala man kana takpo wami konkonda dira wami sorablan dira hinella noyi wami soyi dira la durmana lugo zo konda dira de zora kullu na ala man kana takpo sobiyan shiho.
Psychiatrists and caregivers have sustained their supportive roles in the communities.
I do home visits to educate patients to know much about the malaria and epilepsy, which is one of the conditions which people are not aware. Now, if you look at the epilepsy case, in all the psychiatric cases, there is a great increase, all because now we have mosquitoes all the year round.
Simple malaria can quickly turn into severe malaria, particularly among very young children.
When you look at the number of children probably getting the severe or extreme form of malaria, which we call cerebral, then about 1.12 per 1,000 children will develop cerebral malaria as a result of this ordinary malaria we are talking about. We are now recognizing that this also has a significant later burden. After getting the severe form that is going to the brain, we now know that there are persistent neurological deficits. So if you looked at a child like this 5 years later, 10 years in your life, you will find that as a result of malaria at this stage, now we realize that some children will go on to develop epilepsy, for instance, or seizures, because it's something that goes to the brain.
Quick treatment within 24 hours with recommended malaria medicines will curb danger signs like extreme high fever, convulsion, and extreme weakness once the malaria is fully treated. These brave people have come out to tell their stories for us to learn from their experiences.
Esa dole na rukun jama'a kowane mai goyo gan jikin diyan shi ya zafi kai kai shi hospital amma malaria fa ke kawo nan ciwo ba mai ta bane kar kowace kamar mai take kawo nan ciwo
izo kayan yalma bihe dole ma yi ku pilga biya yin ta mo duate dilan ya na zan wakin su da gbantin aku tiyan su da gbantin ma wahala ka jira da biyan ta ce silmin tim ka ji kan ya ma
be pia kwe beke hen shadi keba wako wa fele ojogbanpe eke kan shadi enye ba bram shiko fele ojogba anye ba bram ake be pi hu e wa ke fe na kan ke hin shi efun wono nika onu tumo mi ati ke alo wa mo ko be ipapa ke han bo e ka han fe to mo ta fa che o fe fun lo obe no ko mi ye ma hin.
We can all come together to drive malaria away. There has been tremendous progress made in Ghana in the fight against malaria. Many more people are sleeping under treated bed nets, the most effective way to prevent malaria. More people are treating malaria early and fully with ACTs, the recommended malaria medicine. More pregnant women and their unborn children are being protected from malaria with free medicine available at antenatal clinics. However, there is still a long way to go before we win the fight against malaria. Let's come together to drive malaria away for good life. Good life goes with good health. This message is by the Ghana Health Service and the USAID.